at my house, it is definitely my wife's way. So I don't have much say of it. So if I get a chance to make a world up, I'm gonna in my songwriting mind. That's my story.
Jordan, it's an absolute pleasure to see you again.
Absolutely, good to get back and talk with you.
Yeah, I know you're only on a bit of a flying visit, so I'll dip into that in a second. But I felt I wanted to say, first of all, congratulations. Now, I know it's not new news for you, but it's fairly recent. So a fourth child to the family.
Yeah. A little bit over a month, another baby girl. So
how's it all settling in?
It's great. She showed up right at one of the busiest times of the year, but she's great. Baby's doing fine. Mama's doing good. Her brothers and sisters love her. So everybody's happy at the Davis household.
Brilliant. Well, that's great news to hear. And
Thank
like you say, isn't that typical about life, though? You got loads on at the moment, and then,
I know.
But hey, it's good to be busy.
It's good.
You're good to be busy because you got the new album out, Learn the Hard Way.
I do. Brand new record.
I listened to it in its entirety on the journey in here. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Loads of variety on there, too. I mean, 17 tracks, and you got a couple of guests as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the title of the album. Is there a life lesson for us all there? Learn the hard way or not? Or
if you can avoid learning things the hard way, that would be the advice I would give you. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, there's a common thread between a lot of these songs, and it's whether it be Mess with Missing You, which is the duet with Carly Pearce. There's just a bunch of songs on here that kind of have somebody looking back wishing they would have done something different. And there's definitely that in my life where I've looked back and wished that I would have handled things different, whether it be through college or moving to Nashville. I kind of had to learn some things the hard way. And still to this day, looking back over the last couple of years with, a growing family and touring, there's some things I've had to learn the hard way. But it felt pretty fitting to name that record this, just being the type of songs that are on it and kind of where I'm at in my life.
Well, I think most of us can relate to that, learning the hard way. But, you've got an awful lot that you're doing right as well, including, I've noticed you've had a stream of number ones. And we're familiar with some of the songs on the album already anyway, because they've been singles and very successful singles. So you must be pleased because I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I think since Buy Dirt, I mean, that phenomenal success you had with Luke, it's just like your career has elevated yet further. Do you feel the same?
If anything, those songs gave us some kind of freedom to go wherever we wanted to go with it. Buy Dirt was really the one that kind of kicked it off, and I at least felt the change in the shows, kind of the entire everything that was going on. It just felt different.
Well, we felt that at Smooth Country too, because we played it a lot, and then suddenly it's almost like I said, elevated you to a degree in our minds anyway. So I just wanted to as I've got you sitting in front of me, wonder if you felt the same. But you're right, you've had such a string of songs, like big hits, one after another. So you're obviously flying. About the album, though, it made me smile, the first track on there, My Way or the Highway. Now, we could all relate to that. If you're with somebody and they're giving you that ultimatum, well, I agree with you in the song. It's the highway.
Right.
Yeah. Get the hell out of there.
And I always joke about it because, at my house, it is definitely my wife's way. So I don't have much say of it. So if I get a chance to make a world up, I'm going to, in my songwriting mind, that's my story.
Yeah, in Jordan Davis's world, this is the way I'm doing it.
If I can't win in real life, I'm going to win in the imaginary world of songwriting. So
I love that. And of course, you can create whatever world you like in there.
Exactly.
You mentioned Carly Pearce on the album. We had Carly in a little while ago, and she's wonderful. We're big fans of her. But I wanted to ask you, and Marcus King as well, so a number of collaborations. How do you decide who to have on a particular song? Do you write the song or work on the song and then go, Carly would be great with this? Or do you write a song with someone in mind?
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I've always kind of let the song pick. Even going back to Buy Dirt, that was one that we were kind of writing towards Luke, and then once we finished it, realized that I really liked that song, but would love to have Luke on it. Louisiana Stick is one that I really had Marcus in mind. Never thought that he would actually be on the song, but I'm just such a big Marcus King fan that I kind of wanted to do something in his world. And again, much like Buy Dirt, wrote the song, finished it, and then, came to Marcus after. With the Carly collab, Carly, I've known Carly for one of my oldest friends in Nashville. We've always talked about doing something together. So being able to kind of approach a song with her in mind, knowing her voice and her style, it was a lot easier. And luckily, she agreed to it and loved the song. But like, yeah, it's sometimes sometimes you have a song idea and somebody in mind and you write it and it works out. And then sometimes you write the song and it comes to you after the fact. So, yeah, there's different ways to go about it.
How does it feel as well as an artist? Because clearly the whole concept of an album, and you're working on it for so hard and so long, and then suddenly it's out.
Yeah.
Is there a relief? Is there like anticipation of what will people think of it, or how does it work?
Yeah, I mean that's the day you're getting to, from going back 2 years. As you start writing, you release a project, and then you walk back into the writing room for the first time after you release a record. And you're working to get to that day when the record's out, because we write these songs for people to connect with them and hear them and, interpret them the way they want to interpret them. And I think when that day comes and you can kind of get that weight off your back and hopefully, it's something I'm really proud of, and I love these songs and love the entire project. It's definitely the day that you're looking forward to, that the world gets to hear it. And so far, it's been awesome, but it's definitely a weight off the back for sure.
Yeah, and it's out there now. Well, I love it too, and it sounds like I said earlier, you're on such a roll, so it's that roll continues and goes even further. So that's great.
It's been fun.
Wonderful to have you back in the UK. I know this is a short visit for you, but the brilliant news is you're coming back again.
Yeah.
And if February and March you're going to be here. That's very exciting for the fans here.
It's exciting for me too. I mean, I love being over here. I've said before, that was such a big thing for us to build a fan base over here from day one, and the fans have been so good to me. The tour is already off to a great start, even I think it was last February maybe that we were over here and played Hammersmith, and that was one of my favorite shows I've ever played. The crowd was amazing. It's just been, I'm super grateful for the fan base over here and excited to get back over here and crank it back up.
I'm really interested in that because, from our point of view, we look at America, and America is big enough in our minds. You've enough to be getting on with there. And then somebody like you, Jordan, goes, no, but I also want to make an impact over the other part, over, the other side of the Atlantic. I'm curious about that, but that's great for us.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been... it was a priority. It was something I wanted to do. It's beautiful over here, so you get to see another beautiful place. But yeah, the fans are just, it's such a, and we've said this before, it's like there's no difference between the fans over here and the States fans, or at least in my opinion. I know some people say different things, but like I said, that show last year in London was one of the rowdiest crowds I've ever had. So, I mean, it's a blast.
Well, that's great for us to hear. And it's wonderful. Country's huge here now. I mean, it was always fairly big, but it's absolutely just, gone to the next level.
Yeah.
So it's music to our ears, literally when we get the stars over, and we're getting more and more of them. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely.
We were just chatting just as we were getting everything set up, and we were talking about the weather, and it's really good here at the moment. But let me just tell you, when you come back in February and March, you might want an extra.
I might have to bring the coat.
Yeah. I'd advise that next time round. Best of luck with the album. Can't wait to see you when you're back again.
Absolutely.
And absolute pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much for having me. Can't wait for next February. Let's get her going again.
Brilliant.